Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and with me as always is Scribe. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
And the lovely SDA is joining us as well. Say hi.
Hi.
Guys, if I am a little bit sluggish tonight, I apologize. I'll get into why later, but if you feel that I'm being sluggish, yell at me in the chat and I'll try to pay attention and pep up.
Oh, now you're just inviting it to happen, whether it's true or not.
If you're here for the Russian Deadpool story, we are going to get to that. I'll tell you right now, it's going to be our last news story rolling into our YouTube time. But first, we're going to do the regular news. So, Scribe, what you got for us tonight?
All right. So this one came out a couple hours ago, and it almost immediately had a response from the White House saying it's untrue, but I will read it as it was at the time.
I know what's coming.
Yeah, the Washington Post, that bastion of really great news, which I am subscribed to on Twitter and sometimes has some very interesting stories. The Washington Post has claimed that Trump shared classified info to Russians. I should also mention that the National Security Advisor, H.R. McMaster, came out about immediately after this to say that it's not true. Now, of course, whether he's being truthful or not, or if he's saying something he doesn't know, who knows? But let's go into the story and see what they have to say. President Donald Trump shared highly classified information with the Russian foreign minister and Russian ambassador to the U.S. in a White House meeting last week, according to the Washington Post. The White House scrambled to respond to the report Monday night, issuing several statements before sending H.R. McMaster, Trump's national security advisor, who's participated in the meeting, out to speak with the White House reporters. Quote, "At no time were intelligence sources or methods discussed, and the president did not disclose any military operations that weren't already publicly known," he said. "I was in the room. It didn't happen." Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said in a statement earlier Monday that Trump discussed a broad range of subjects with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and Russian Ambassador to the U.S. Sergei Kislyak. Whatever. During President Trump's meeting with Foreign Minister Lavrov, a broad range of subjects were discussed, among which were common efforts and threats regarding counterterrorism. During that exchange, the nature of specific threats were discussed, but they did not discuss sources, methods, or military operations, Tillerson said, who was at the meeting. Dina Powell, White House Deputy National Security Advisor for Strategy, who also attended the meeting, said the story is false. The president only discussed the common threats that both countries faced. Now, according to the Post, Trump described details to Lavrov and Kislyak about how ISIS hopes to use laptop computers as bombs on planes. I read that in the news a couple of weeks ago. I'm pretty sure I read a Washington Post story about that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys, did we read that out loud?
I think we actually might have talked about that, yes.
Oh, yes. Shit. And we read it out loud just now, everybody.
Fuck.
We've just shared classified information. Oh my God.
We're colluding with the Russians now.
You know, ISIS also hopes to use baby dolls as bombs on planes. Oh, and they also hope to use shoes as bombs on planes.
Yeah.
They also hope to use planes as bombs on planes.
I didn't get to what they said he supposedly crossed the line with. That's the fucking Jesus.
Okay. Quote, "I get great intel. I have people brief me on great intel every day," one official with knowledge told the Post described Trump as saying before the president reportedly relayed specific intelligence. CNN has yet to confirm the details of the Washington Post report, yes. H.R. McMaster had told the Post that Trump and the Russian officials discussed common threats. He repeats that stuff. Here we go. Laptop threat. In April, CNN first reported that U.S. intelligence and law enforcement agencies believe that ISIS and other terrorist organizations had developed new ways to place explosives in laptops and other electronic devices to evade airport security screening methods. Yeah, no shit. This is not new news. U.S. intelligence suggested that terrorists had obtained sophisticated airport security equipment that allowed them to test how to effectively conceal explosives in electronic devices. The intelligence led to the Trump administration to ban travelers flying out of 10 airports in 8 countries in the Middle East and Africa from carrying electronic devices larger than cell phones aboard planes. The United Kingdom, which possessed the same intelligence, placed a similar prohibition on passengers flying from 6 countries, including 2 that were not on the U.S. list.
Thank you, David. Yeah. That's asinine. I mean, I don't even know what to make of that.
Well, it's fake news. I mean, if that's all I want to find the Washington Post story. I'll try to find it for later. We can look at it, or I can read it or something, because I'm curious to see exactly what the Washington Post was saying. Oh, well, there's a link to it. One second.
Well, the story I read it at the Washington Post, and
Yeah.
it stopped before they made the specific allegation of what he supposedly shared.
Okay, and the Washington Post is blocking me with their paywall because they are jerkwads. Let me get past this real quick. Thank you, Firefox. Okay, let's try this again. This is the latest version of this story as of a couple hours ago, at least according to the Washington Post. Let's see. President Trump revealed highly classified information to the Russian foreign minister. Right. The information the president relayed had been provided by a U.S. partner through an intelligence sharing arrangement considered so sensitive that details have been withheld from allies and tightly restricted even within the U.S. government. Okay. This is code word information, said a U.S. official familiar with the matter, using terminology that refers to one of the highest classification levels used by American spy agencies. So highly classified that you know what it is. Trump revealed more information. Trump revealed more information to the Russian ambassador than we have shared with our own allies. Okay, I'm looking. I too am looking for what this information was, and they don't say. Plot details. Wait. Trump went on to discuss aspects of the threat that the United States learned only through the espionage capabilities of a key partner. He did not reveal the specific intelligence gathering method, but he described how the Islamic State was pursuing elements of a specific plot and how much harm such an attack could cause under varying circumstances. Most alarmingly, officials said, Trump revealed the city in the Islamic State's territory where the U.S. intelligence partner detected the threat. The Post is withholding most plot details, including the name of the city, at the urging of officials who warned that revealing them could jeopardize important intelligence capabilities.
So, worst case scenario, he told the Russians where we heard the information.
According to this version of the story, yes.
According to somebody who won't let themselves be named, and
right.
Maybe he did. I'm not saying he didn't, but this is how much I trust the press these days. I just immediately assume this is nonsense because it so often is.
I mean, even so, if they're talking about some of that stuff, I feel like some of those details might be important.
Yeah, I mean,
let's wait. Yeah, it's kind of a thing where
that's my official response.
Yeah, unless or until there's more information. Okay. Well, anyway, that one is. What we got next? Well, let's see. We're into potpourri already because we're going to make it a short one tonight.
That's right.
So let's see. We have Selfie death case. I'm giving these categories. Death by caffeine.
Death by caffeine.
Death by caffeine. All right. This is a short one. A coroner, this is from Columbia, South Carolina. A coroner says a healthy 16-year-old South Carolina high school student died from heart problems after drinking too much caffeine. Richland County Coroner Gary Watts said Monday that Davis Cripe had no pre-existing heart condition that might have caused him to collapse and die in a classroom last month. Watts said Cripe drank a large Mountain Dew, a latte from McDonald's, and an energy drink in the 2 hours before his heart fell out of rhythm at Spring Hill High School near Chapin on April 26th. Watts says parents need to know that while a soda or a cup of coffee is okay for teens, large amounts of caffeine can be deadly. Okay, so Mountain Dew, latte from McDonald's, and an energy drink, that'll kill you.
That
doesn't
sounds
seem like nothing.
I mean, absolutely, guys, be careful how much caffeine you take in if you're drinking energy shots back to back.
Was this person 35 pounds?
It just says 16-year-old, I don't know.
Yeah, unless they were really, really small, that doesn't seem like enough.
How much Mountain Dew?
a large Mountain Dew, whatever that means.
Maybe like one of the large cans or a...
That seems like enough to maybe give you the shakes if you're a midget, but...
I mean, I suppose if he had nothing on his stomach, and that's all he had within a 2-hour period and just downed it all.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe once. Maybe if he's also a little scrawny thing.
But The real takeaway: watch your caffeine, guys. You can die from caffeine. Be careful.
Yes, you can. I mean, everything in moderation, as they say. Okay, so selfie death, school sex complaints.
School sex complaints.
Oh boy, this is a long one. I'll start off and see if it's worth continuing on. Excuse me. Houston, Texas. Hector and Itza Ayala sat in a conference room at Houston's prestigious high school for the performing arts, clutching a document they hoped would force administrators to investigate their 15-year-old daughter's claim of a classroom sex assault. It had been 4 months since the girl reported being attacked by another student. School district police had been notified, but administrators said they could do nothing else to protect her from the boy, who was still in school. Frustrated, Itza, a teacher in the district, scoured the internet for help. A Google search led her to the website of the U.S. Education Department's Office for Civil Rights. Excuse me, I'd sneeze it.
Bless you.
As I read more, she said, my soul is saved, thank you. As I read more and more, she said, I thought, this is exactly what happened. This is exactly what they're not doing. Somebody can help me. I'm trying to figure out what this is supposed to say. Office for Civil Rights. Okay. Short-staffed, underfunded, and underfired, the office became a victim of its own success as it struggled to investigate the increase in complaints that hold school districts accountable. An Associated Press analysis of OCR records found that only about 1 in 10 sexual violence complaints against elementary and secondary schools led to improvements, and nearly half of all such cases remained unresolved. Okay. Let's get to the part where they talk about the increasing complaints, because I'm more curious, like, how legitimate are these things? Unlike the furor in Congress and on college campuses, the 2011 guidance received far less attention in the offices of elementary and secondary schools. Some schools, the AP found, weren't even aware of it. But still, the department's public awareness campaign bore fruit, with the number of sexual violence complaints against those schools nearly doubling between 2012 and 2013, according to an AP analysis of OCR records. Between 2014 and late 2016, complaints increased roughly fourfold. Anyone can file a complaint with OCR, victims, families, or school personnel. The sharp increase in complaints taxed an already stretched operation and delayed justice for some of the very students the administration sought to help. Okay.
So what is the point of this article, that the girl isn't getting help, or that
it seems to be that this organization that is meant to attend to these complaints is understaffed, underfunded, and not resolving the issues because of these things? And it's some kind of, I'm sure it's some kind of systemic oppression of justice and everything.
Of course, we're just not giving it enough money because we don't like it.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just a very long story giving a lot of details about stuff, and I just took it as a headline sense. So if somebody else wants to look it up and find something interesting out of it, it just sounds like it's, I don't know. I mean, if the number of complaints quadrupled in a year or 2 years, that sounds like there's a lot of fluff in there that might not actually be legitimate.
Or I mean, I was really hoping they would tell what the girl's complaint was, because sexual assaults, sexual harassment, all of this can be so vague what it actually means.
It's also incredibly hard to prove it.
Yeah.
It may detail the specific case somewhere in here, but it is a long article. I'm talking like at least 4 or 5 pages worth of text, so I'm not even going to look at it right now. Let's move on. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
If you get sexually assaulted at school, go to the police.
Yeah. Go to the police.
Anyhow.
Okay. So yeah, we'll start from the top again. Selfie death, travel
Selfie
ban. Okay. Greensburg, Pennsylvania. An 18-year-old Western Pennsylvania man who authorities said shot a friend and then posed for a selfie with the dying teen has been sentenced to 15 to 30 years in prison. Well, good for him.
Who the fuck does that?
Well, I'll tell you.
This guy.
I'll tell you. Maxwell Morton of Jeanette, who turns 19 this week, told a Westmoreland County judge on Monday that he didn't want to be remembered as a, quote, savage, and conceded that the February 2015 death of 16-year-old Ryan Mangan was, quote, messed up. the Pittsburgh Tribune Review reported. Quote, "Sometimes sorry isn't enough for people. That's all I have to give," Morton said. Morton was convicted. Messed up. Morton was convicted in February of third-degree murder. He testified that the teens were playing with a handgun and he thought it wasn't loaded when he pointed it at Mangan and pulled the trigger. He said he took the selfie to document what happened and said he planned to kill himself.
Wait. A regular picture would document what happened, jackass. You don't have to be smiling in it with him.
Let's see. Oh, and of course the thing shows.
Oh my God.
A Springville, Wisconsin teenager testified that Morton bragged about the killing as they played an online video game that evening, saying he, quote, got his first body. The teen said he thought it was a prank until Morton texted a link of a news item about the death and sent the selfie via Snapchat.
Yikes.
Yeah, you were just taking evidence. Yeah, sure you were.
Yeah. Good luck in prison, fuckface.
Yeah, that's about all there is to that one. Yeah, so long, bye-bye. Okay, so we have travel ban and we have decapitation.
Travel ban.
Okay. Federal judges ask if travel ban is biased against Muslims. Seattle, Washington. Federal judges on Monday peppered a lawyer for President Donald Trump with questions about whether the administration's travel ban discriminates against Muslims and zeroed in on the president's campaign statements the second time in a week the rhetoric has faced judicial scrutiny. Acting Solicitor General Jeffrey Wall, defending the travel ban, told the three-judge panel of the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals that the executive order should be reinstated because it falls well within the president's authority. Quote, no one has ever attempted to set aside a law that is neutral on its face and neutral in its operation on the basis of a largely campaign trail comments made by a private citizen running for office, he said. Further, Wall said the president had backed off the comments he made during the campaign, clarifying that, quote, what he was talking about was Islamic terrorist groups and the countries that sponsor or shelter them. Neil Katyal, who represented Hawaii, a plaintiff in the lawsuit, expressed disbelief at that argument and said Trump had repeatedly spoken of a Muslim ban during the presidential campaign and after. Quote, this is a repeated pattern of the president, Katyal said. The Ninth Circuit panel was hearing arguments over Hawaii's lawsuit challenging the travel ban, which would suspend the nation's refugee program and temporarily bar new visas for citizens of Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. The judges will decide whether to uphold a Hawaii judge's decision in March that blocked the ban. And that's basically all the news there is for fit to print there.
I see it probably being upheld. This is going to go to the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it's going to be actually decided on the Muslim thing, though. Because he did go, I mean, there's still other countries where Muslims are allowed.
Yes.
But you can't bar people from national or because of national origin based on the most recent laws. Mm-hmm. So that's where the Supreme Court's going to have to decide. So
right.
I don't think it'll be decided in the end because of Muslim.
Yeah, because is there a religious test at the border? That's my question. I don't believe there is, so.
And if there's not, then.
Yeah, so if they keep on that track, I mean, the Supreme Court will have no choice but to turn it down. So we'll see.
Okay, sorry, 1 second here. My phone decided to beep at me, so I turned to silent. Okay, and lastly, decapitation. And this one I thought would make bigger news given the details, but apparently not so far. Okay, so this is a story that's been updated several times, so I'm going to read them in chronological order, unless the most recent one tells everything. Yeah, okay. So 9 a.m. today, and this is from Portland, Oregon? Yeah, Portland, Oregon. Police say a man carrying what appeared to be a human head stabbed an employee at a grocery store in Oregon, and authorities later found a woman's body at a home. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office said the incidents east of Portland are connected. Sergeant Nate Thompson says the stabbing suspect was arrested Sunday afternoon. Oh, I thought it was today. Never mind. After he was subdued by other employees at the grocery store in Estacada. The victim and the suspect were both taken to hospital. Soon after the attack, someone called 911 to report that a woman's body was found at a home in Colton, a short drive south of Estacada. Her name has not been released. Okay. Moving on.
Okay.
Yeah. Police say a man suspected of stabbing an Oregon grocery employee while carrying what appeared to be a human head was in a catatonic state after he was subdued by other workers at the store. Let's see. The suspect had no physical injuries and was taken to a Portland hospital for an evaluation. Okay. The victim in the stabbing at the grocery store is expected to make a full recovery. And then, let's see. Okay. The man suspected of killing a woman and then carrying a severed head into an Oregon grocery store and stabbing a checkout clerk has been identified as 36-year-old Joshua Lee Webb. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office says the victim in the Mother's Day homicide was Webb's mother, 59-year-old Tina Marie Webb. The two lived together at a home in Colton, Oregon. And the last update says, the father of a man suspected of killing his mother and then carrying a severed head into an Oregon grocery store and stabbing a checkout clerk says his son, quote, seemed normal. David Webb, the father of 36-year-old Joshua Lee Webb, said Monday that his son had vision problems and lived at home. Joshua Webb has been booked on charges of murder and attempted murder in Clackamas County, Oregon. Authorities say he killed his mother, then traveled to nearby Escatado, Oregon, and entered a thriftway store carrying what appeared to be a human head. Good God.
No.
All right.
They don't say, and I keep wondering, did the cashier happen to mention the head so he went off and stabbed him?
Excuse me, sir. Is that a head you're carrying? How dare you?
Did he just...
Or was he just feeling stabby?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, why take
You know what?
the head with you?
Maybe he thought that cashier was just like a cow.
Maybe he was trying to get ahead in the world.
Yeah. I'm picturing a Jason Voorhees kind of thing here.
Yeah. And on that high, enlightening, and fulfilling note, now we move on to the story of the day. Now, I talked to Monkey and my SDA about this ahead of time, and being the newsreader, I just want to predicate first and foremost. I'm going to read the story as it sits right now with the facts that are known. Just the ones that have been reported, the ones that have been confirmed by authorities. After that, we will discuss the things that have been said or speculated on otherwise. But first and foremost, we're just going to talk about the facts. Anything beyond what I'm about to read is either gossip or speculation that is probably unconfirmed until we get some corroboration from somebody. So, for those of you that are not aware, there's a channel on YouTube called The Skeptic Feminist. And this channel, for the majority of its time, has involved three people. A guy that goes by the moniker Russian Deadpool. There's Homicidal Harley. And then I forget what Ivy's
Dominatrix.
other... Dominatrix Ivy or Ivy Dominatrix.
Ivy,
And they would do...
Dominatrix Ivy.
Dominatrix Ivy. And they would do videos about feminism and skeptical things and that kind of thing. Russian Deadpool was the person who, quote unquote, moderated the debate between Sargon and Christy Winters that was of such fame way back when. So these guys have been around for quite a while. I've seen a couple of their videos. I've seen them mostly like guests on other people's channels. Mm-hmm. Last year, I believe it was last year, there was a drama between... I think it was Harley's family tried to take her back to their home or something. And then Russian Deadpool and a bunch of other YouTubers put together a fundraiser to get money to bring her home because she was in an abusive situation. So these guys were relatively plugged in to the skeptic YouTube community for a while, even though they didn't share the same viewpoints as most of the other skeptics when it came to feminism and other social justice things. But things seem to be on an even keel. I don't know that much about them. Maybe Monkey and SDA know more.
I ran across them the first time. Well, you know what? Let's do the story first, and then
exactly. Yeah. Okay. So that was all preamble and my babbling. Okay. So here we go. This is from the Denver Post. This is updated as of 3:46 p.m. I'm assuming Denver time. Here we go. Suspect. Victim identified in fatal Mesa County shooting of woman. Alexander Kolpakov of Clifton is being held at the county's jail on suspicion of second-degree murder. Mesa County authorities have identified the 29-year-old man arrested in the fatal Saturday night shooting of a woman in Mesa County. Alexander Kolpakov of Clifton is being held at the county's jail on suspicion of second-degree murder. The shooting happened about 9:30 p.m. on the 3,200 block of 1/2 Lombardy Lane, where deputies called out on reports of several gunshots, found the woman dead outside of a home. Kolpakov was taken into custody. The slain woman was identified on Monday afternoon as 31-year-old Heather Annabelle, and we know now that Heather Annabelle was dominatrix Ivy. The Mesa County Coroner's Office ruled her death a homicide by gunshot wounds to the neck and chest. The office said Annabelle's family has asked for privacy. An alleged motive for the killing has not been released, and officials say court documents have been sealed. Mesa County Sheriff's Office spokesman Henry Stoffel said over the weekend that an investigation is ongoing, but the department is not looking for any other suspects. And that is the end of the story as currently reported in the local news.
Yeah, that is the end of the facts we know right now.
Yes.
Everything else is speculation.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
So they were in a polyamorous relationship. That's been confirmed in the videos. So there are videos on Skeptic Feminist channel, and as far as I know, the channel's still up and operating. It hasn't been taken down or anything.
It is. I mean,
and
an
there's a
hour
video.
ago it was.
Yeah, there's a video called Deadpool or Russian Deadpool Exposed, where the 3 women involved with him give little testimonies about their relationship with him. And how old is this video?
About a month.
About a month
It was
ago.
posted on April 12th.
Okay. So yeah, they were in a polyamorous relationship. The most recent addition was from Australia. I don't know much about this person. And yeah, it's outside of that, everything else I've heard has been sidewise and secondhand. So take it away, guys.
Well, here's one of the things that I've heard, that it was a psychotic break. I've heard that it was PTSD related. None of this stuff can be corroborated. It is coming from people who are part of that group. The Jeff Holiday had a stream earlier where he had what's her name, Little Miss Anonymous on, who said she had spoke to, I think she said she spoke to Athena, and Athena, see, notice spoke to, not direct. But she said that it had happened like in just a moment. He just snapped all of a sudden. Now, people snap all of a sudden with no PTSD at all. I'm not saying he never had it. We just don't know if that's an issue here. People snap all the time, especially in, how can I put this?
Relationships.
Delicate relationship. Yeah.
Complicated relationship arrangements. Yeah.
Thank you. Complicated is the word I'm looking for. It may turn out that this was, PTSD and he had a psychotic break. But that's not known. This is speculative right now. And I was actually kind of disappointed with that stream, because basically they laid it out as this is what it is. And Jeff Holiday did make the point saying, this stream is not actually about him. But you can't start the stream with this explanation of he had PTSD and that's why he did it, and then go, well, we're just talking about PTSD.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's PTSD. And the reason for that is what you were talking about at the beginning, Scribe. A lot of people do know this guy, and nobody wants to think, oh, a friend of mine is a fucking psychopath who kills people. And so they're looking for an excuse, or they're looking for something to justify it in their head, because they just don't see how he could be like this.
Yeah. Well, the other thing to remember too, as we are now indulging a bit in other people's speculation, is that we do not know the motivation for the shooting. There are 3 possibilities. He's been charged with second-degree murder, which implies that if it was done intentionally, it was done without premeditation, which means it was a crime of passion, which would make sense given the relationship and everything else. But the case not having been prosecuted yet or adjudicated, there are 3 possibilities here. Either it was some kind of accident, although multiple shots would tend to sway you away from that notion, but it might have been an accident. It was either an accident, a murder, or self-defense. There's really no other option there.
Yeah.
Now, multiple shootings would tend to preclude it being an accident. So it was either murder or self-defense. Not knowing what the situation was at the time of the shooting, it might be one of both of those two. Not knowing what the relationship was exactly, say for what we see on the video, we don't know. And so we have to emphasize here, we don't know why it happened. People are speculating it was PTSD. People have said that he was a military veteran. Whether he was a combat veteran or not, nobody knows, or at least nobody's confirmed it. And even if it was PTSD, is that some kind of excuse for it? Yeah. So that's where we're sort of into unknown territory, and we're just sort of off into the gray mist of speculation now.
Right. Well, and like
Peter
you
just
said,
asked-
sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to clarify something. Peter asked if anyone has been arrested. Yes, Russian Deadpool was arrested and
Yes.
booked for second-degree murder. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Well, and like you said, second-degree murder would mean that this wasn't premeditated.
Right.
This was
Right.
like either a crime of okay. I know how to English. A crime of passion.
Yes.
You know, some kind of psychotic break if that's what happened.
Hmm.
Like people are saying. And a crime of passion does not necessarily mean that it was a psychotic break, is another
No.
thing that people
Oh, yeah,
I think need to understand, because I think I've seen people conflating the two things. Like if it was a spur of the moment, then of course it was a psychotic break, and that's not necessarily how that would have to work.
Hmm.
He could have done it, you know, right then without any premeditation, without
Right.
it being a psychotic break. So we just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that'll all come out in the trial. I mean, eventually,
Yeah.
whatever defense they're going to have to come up with, if they want to go with he, had a psychotic break, or he has past mental issues or something else, if they can bring that evidence to the fore, that'll be up to a jury to decide. So as of right now, he's in custody. He's charged with second-degree murder, and the authorities, at least at this point, see enough evidence to have charged him with that specific crime at that specific level.
Right.
So
because you do have to have evidence to charge somebody with a crime.
yes. So there's obviously enough there at the scene to say that he did it. We don't know what his contact was with police when they arrested him. There's no information on, was he taken peaceably? Did he turn himself in? It doesn't say that.
Yeah. This is all information that will probably come out within the next couple of days. And then, of course, whenever this goes to trial, if that's what happens. And I'm sure that we'll talk about it and cover it.
Yeah, I mean, I have my opinion on what I think happened, and I will not be sharing it live anywhere because I don't know, and I'm not putting that out there.
Right.
The other thing I want to say is there are some people, not many, but there have been a few. The skeptic feminist is not skeptical of feminism. They are hardcore feminist folks.
Right.
And some people have turned this into look at what feminists did. This unless something incredibly fucking weird happened, this had nothing to do with their ideology.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
leave that shit at the door.
I see people who are messaging Christy Winters or sending her tweets, taunting her about it. It's like,
don't do that.
Leave her alone. I mean, because whether I don't like Christy Winters either, but these are people that she was friends with.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do that. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
That's so not necessary.
Right. And this isn't just about Russian Deadpool. There are a lot of people who liked Ivy, and she is dead now, guys.
Yeah.
Don't rub that shit in.
Yeah. The turnout.
Sorry.
The turnout last year for that fundraiser. Now, this is before all this happened. And I think it was Harley that was in trouble. But Ivy and Deadpool went to some relatively dramatic lengths to try to help their girlfriend, let's say. And I'm not talking about them specifically, but how many people gave a shit enough to donate money to help out one of the girls in this relationship and the relationship in total, the whole three of them at the time. So a lot of people cared about these guys. This is not something to make light of. This isn't something to make into hay for your personal political ammunition or anything. No pun intended. So yeah, this is horrific. The person just got killed. And, if you look at the videos on the thing, as of a month ago, it sounded like, rhetorically speaking, they were supposed to be a happy arrangement. So don't politicize this for yourself. Just don't do it. If you're listening and you have any thoughts of doing that or trying to rub this in somebody's face, stop and really think about that first.
I know it's really hard to believe because she doesn't seem like a person, but Christy Winters is a person too.
Yeah, or anybody that you would think to do that to. There was one thing I wanted to bring up that I found odd in the aftermath of this.
Okay.
And again, I don't know. It just seemed kind of out of whack with reality to me. The there was one tweet, as far as I know today, on the Skeptic Feminist Twitter account where Harley, or at least whoever was posting as Harley, said effectively, things are bad, but it's our business, try to be nice or something. And I don't know, obviously there's no inflection in text, and you can't sort of read necessarily the mind of somebody through a message like that, but it just seems so kind of blasé to me. It just read as kind of like, no, maybe it's numb, maybe it's shock or something, but it's kind of like almost unconcerned,
I had that same thought with messages I've seen from both of the people, and
you mean Harley and Athena?
Yes, very sorry. Yes, Harley and Athena.
Sorry, there's just so many people involved in this shindig that.
I want to address something real quick. Somebody said that they believe in gallows humor. So do I.
Oh, sure.
But there's a difference between gallows humor and taunting somebody because a friend of theirs died.
There's a difference between dark humor and intentionally messaging or tweeting Christy Winter saying, "Hey, haha, your friend shot your other friend in the face. How do you feel about that, you piece of shit?" Like, that's not gallows humor. You're just a dick.
That's being a cocksucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to one of the things that was said was that I think it was Athena in that message that you were talking about.
So there was a Twitter post by Harley, and then there was a Facebook message. Yeah, the Facebook message supposedly posted by Athena. Yes.
So yeah, I think it was the Twitter one by Harley. Then it said that they'll update as necessary or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not their story anymore. I know it's most personal to them, but this is a news thing. This isn't a Twitter fight, guys.
Yeah.
And I realize that they're probably not in their right minds right now with what they're going through. But it is still okay to talk about it.
And it is a matter of public record at this point. I mean, it's really not. Of course, I'm sure she will update it, but it doesn't matter whether or not she updates it.
Yeah, because the way it was said
are going to occur.
Yeah, the way she said it was like, it's going to come from us. No, I will get my news from the news, because you have an obvious slant in this, and I'm not trying to be mean here, but they're in a very emotional situation right now, and
I mean, really understandably, doesn't Harley live with the two of them?
Harley, Ivy, and Deadpool all live together.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what that would be like to have two people that you care about and you live with, just one's dead and one's been arrested for murdering the dead one.
From the way one of the comments sounded, it sounded like Harley was there. I can't confirm that. That's just the way it sounded.
She said that she spoke to them 1 minute before the shooting happened.
That was Athena. Okay, so we have to be very clear here. Athena, supposedly, again, and this is a screenshot I saw. I don't know this directly. Somebody had posted a shot of a supposed Facebook conversation between themselves and Athena. Let's get our cast of characters down. There's Alexander. There's Athena, or Alexander, Russian Deadpool. There's Deadpool, Athena, Ivy, and Harley.
Okay, and
Ivy, Harley, and Deadpool all live together. Athena, I think, is not in living with them. I don't know.
Ivy said that she'd never met Athena in person.
Right. So Athena, there's a picture of one comment on Facebook chat from Athena, purportedly, that said that she was on the phone and speaking to Harley a minute before the shooting occurred. And that that Harley reported to her that he was having some kind of psychotic break or PTSD episode or something, and that's all she knew. And then Harley posted just earlier today about, this is a private matter. We'll update you as necessary. Things are bad, but please be nice, etc. Okay, just to make sure we're all on the same page there.
Yeah, no, I don't remember what it was I saw, but there was one that made it sound like she was there, and I don't know that she was.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't imagine can't imagine the two girls remaining are in any position to even be talking right now. My advice to them: get the hell away from the internet for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, you don't want to see what assholes are out there saying, and two, you're just going to drive yourself nuts with it. If you want to talk to friends, by all means, talk to your friends, but man, Yeah, don't. I feel so bad for him. I do, and I was never a fan of theirs. What I was going to say before we actually read the story is, because of the channels I watch, there's pops up in my recommended now and then, and I watched about 4 videos the first time it did, and I was like, not for me. The next time I saw them was the whole Woolly Bumblebee situation, um, which Russian Deadpool made a video about how Woolly Bumblebee's children had supposedly been threatened because Bering made a video about Woolly Bumblebee. And if you watch the video, he just does not come off well. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I would
And
agree with that.
him and Bering had a back and forth. And then he went on a stream with Bering and apologized for the way he acted. And that was the last I thought about him until today. But this is a horrible situation. Guys, this is not, like I said, it's not a Twitter fight. This isn't me and Vegan Gains and Roaming Millennial. This is people dead. Just be careful how you react. Make sure you're listening to everything that's said.
And the other thing that's always interesting about this kind of thing, just to take it a little bit of a step back, is that both of this situation and a couple others in the past with YouTube personalities that I've watched at some length. And, just like with TV stars or other personalities and such, if you watch somebody on a video or see a series or you're a fan of theirs, or even if you're only just peripherally aware of them, there's a sense that you sort of by proxy know them. And so it feels a lot more close to home, even though it's a complete stranger. Like I've watched, 3 or 4 different videos that involved these guys in the past, nothing major, and then clips here and there, depending on what the situation was. Not a big fan, not subscribed to them. Watch some of their stuff. Some of their stuff was okay. Some of their arguments and things on certain subjects, but other things I didn't agree with. But all the same, when I heard this today, it felt like, it's like, oh, I know that person. At least that was the reaction I had. I don't mean that like literally, but just sort of that notion of, oh, here's somebody who's familiar to me, and now something horrible has happened. And there's a connection there. And I can't even imagine what it is for people who have or are fans of these guys or did send money to help support them or anything else. I mean, it's just insane. It's like this sort of virtual relationship you have with somebody that you've never met. And so my reaction today was first just horrified, because I'd seen these people. They seemed like nice people. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't agree with them, and they were kooky, but they seemed like harmless people who cared about each other. That was my impression. And just the notion that it got to the point where this happens, it's just like, holy cow. And then, of course, everybody else's reaction, both people I know and don't know personally on YouTube, but still, again, by extension, feel like I have a relationship with, like Sargon or Skeptor or V. Monroe and these guys talking about it. I don't know. I just wanted to sort of express the things rolling around in my head, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. I have a slightly different take. The girls I've never had an issue with, but that Woolly Bumblebee reaction did give me pause. That's how I'm going to put that. That is a creepy fucking video.
I don't know anything about that situation, so
yeah, watch it and you'll see. But
okay,
even that didn't give me. I mean, I was horrified, but I don't. Again, I'm not. I'm going to save the rest of that comment for after we know more.
Sure.
I'm sorry, guys, because I don't want to add to speculation here. The thing I most want to get about this story is there are facts we know, and everything else is speculation. And be careful what you believe. Be careful what you're saying. These are real people and somebody just died.
Yeah, and really, before you repeat something that you hear, at least try to corroborate it first, because and we were talking before about like rubbing in people's faces or something. First and foremost, you want to be accurate about what you're saying if you're going to say anything at all, especially if you have nothing to do with it. But secondly, this whole rubbing in the face thing, I've said this before on other streams myself, but when it comes to schadenfreude, when it comes to trying to hoist someone by their own petard, you're not doing anyone any favors if you do so under false information or information that has nothing to do with that person's, actions. So saying to Christy Winters or anybody else, look at this, da 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 da. Okay, she didn't do that. She's a victim of this as much as anybody else if she was friends with them. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
The only time that makes any sense is if someone is the victim of their own hubris or something else. If lightning strikes your worst enemy's car, you laughing at them doesn't do anything. And especially if you start spreading information that turns out to be false, all you're doing is, making whoever you're talking about a victim of your bad information or your lie. So don't do that. Just don't.
I want to address a comment. Offense is always taken, never given. Asks, what would their side say if an anti-SJW killed someone?
I don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
I don't give a flying fuck what they would do if this happened on our side.
Yeah, I don't judge my morality, but what I think somebody else might do. I have my standards, and that's what I go by.
And besides which, even if you don't share the same ideas with somebody, that's not, unlike some religious movements, I might say, that is not a reason to start cheering on, asking for, or celebrating in someone's death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or otherwise, or saying like it's okay here, but it's bad over there. Look, people's minds can change. Their life once taken cannot. And that's horrific, especially if it doesn't matter. I mean, this wasn't we're more likely than not, and this is just speculation. This was not based on ideology. This did not happen because of an ideological break or an ideological split or something. And so anybody else trying to make hay out of it for their ideological purposes or their own little propaganda machine or something, just stop, really.
And that's not to say, and again, I don't think any of us are against dark humor. I mean, you told a teddy bear pedophile joke, Monkey, and we all laughed at it for about an hour. So that's certainly not it. It's just that somebody's actually dead, and it has nothing to do with ideology. Yeah. And, taunting somebody who is a victim in this because they're a victim and just because you don't like them is wrong.
Yep, there's a line I don't cross, and that's one for me.
All right. Well, soapboxes aside, I think we've done that one. Down. Is there anything else you want to talk about on this subject, or anything we want to go to the chat for on this? I mean, I don't know if there's any questions we can answer that we haven't already done by reading the story. But
yeah, we don't know anything other than she was shot. He has been taken in and arrested and charged with second-degree murder. That's all we know.
Yeah,
we can. If you guys do have questions about it, you can still ask them at question time. But I think for now we should just stick to the format.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, anybody have a new video today? I've been. Oh, I told you guys I would tell you why I was tired, and it is about my new video. So, I'm going to talk first.
Okay, it's your channel. Go ahead.
That's right. I'm being a dictator. No. Last night I
monkey dictator.
Monkey dick. I went to make a video last night and I didn't get it completed, and I actually changed my topic 3 different times.
Wow.
And if you're upset by me not having a video today, you can blame Jordan Peterson.
Uh-oh.
I've been wanting to make a video on him for a long time because I think he's an incredibly smart man, and a lot of what he says is really important and needs repeated.
Mm-hmm.
However, I can't watch Jordan Peterson without binge watching Jordan Peterson because I just enjoy listening to the way his mind thinks. And there's several of the talks that he gives. You can actually watch him working it out in his mind as he goes. And I actually told SDA last night that in many ways he reminds me of you. Because sometimes when we bring up a story and you're trying to, we can actually hear your thought process go on. And other than the Canadian accent, you guys are a little bit alike there. But yeah, I ended up binge watching like 8 hours of them. I was in pain anyway, couldn't sleep. So I ended up with maybe 3 hours of sleep last night. And then Grand Monkey wouldn't take a nap today.
Uh-oh.
And the females in my line.
The females in my line.
In my line,
How
yes.
royal of you.
They are horrible if they don't get enough sleep. I mean, they are monsters. And the only way to keep her, it's true, they are. My wife will even tell me, you know what, I'm tired, don't even talk to me. I'm like, sure, I'll see you tomorrow. But the only way to keep her from being just unbearable was to keep her busy.
Mm-hmm.
So I took her to the park today, and she had a blast, but Grandpa is not built for that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So tired, sore, but I'm here. But there is a video done. I will upload it when we're finished here. It's a response to the response Lacey got, because I am still blown away by the response Lacey got. I don't understand how people can be that upset over somebody cheering for free speech on either side. I don't get it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that is the most, I was thinking about the other day. I was thinking, okay, that is about as platitude a thing to say as rape is bad. And yay. I mean, no offense to Lacey Green for supporting that. It's like, great. You support free speech. You're going to, hopefully advocate for, people not being shouted down just because you disagree with them. Good for you. At the same time, and I don't know what else to tell you. It's like news at 11. Someone thinks free speech is good. Yay. Okay.
Well, coming from an SJW these days, that is major.
That is significant. I will not deny that is significant. At the same time, though, that is the end of the story.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's actually a beginning if she keeps it up. Because Irate Bear had kind of a freak out on Twitter, and he made a video about this, so I'm not selling him out or anything. Me and Adindro were just arguing back and forth with him the other morning. He was just absolutely dead set against admitting this might be a good thing. Excuse me. And he said, she's not red-pilled. And I told him, I said, I don't give a fuck if she ever leaves feminism. Her being willing to talk about it is a good thing. The way we advance as a society is people with differing opinions talking about it, and everybody deciding where they, who's making the better argument. That's how things get done, not by, okay, no, that person can never speak ever. No, nothing is accomplished by that. So at the very least, talking is a good thing.
Yes. As long as we're talking, we're not fighting.
Yeah. But okay, what do you guys have? Either of you working on videos?
Nope.
I have one that I scripted today. I got most of it done. All I have to do now is just cut the audio and chop the video and arrange everything. Islamic Pulse, my longtime companion, posted a brief video today that had a very intriguing title. And I think I'm quoting it directly when I say, ISIS united the believers. And in short, the video argues that ISIS is the creation of a conspiracy between the United States and Israel to kill Muslims. But joke's on them, ISIS has united the Muslims in Iran and Iraq. And once ISIS goes away, those remnants of ISIS will be the trained fighters ready to take the fight to the true enemy.
And the true enemy is?
Well, these are explicitly stated as, well, I should say implicitly, because they say the enemies, and then the images they show in the video are of Barack Obama and Benjamin Netanyahu speaking to each other. Yeah, it just kind of like, oh, okay. I mean, it didn't say, Muslims unite and fight against the West, or that, oh, by the way, we're going to welcome ISIS fighters with open arms into our cause afterwards. But that's what it was implied, amongst other things. So I'm going to do a little bit of a history lesson, a little bit of a question and answer thing in there, and I think I'll probably have that done tomorrow if I don't get distracted by anything else. I can record everything and put it together tomorrow afternoon.
Is there anything else going on in YouTube land that we haven't discussed? Oh yeah, I do want to.
Oh,
I want to address something about the whole vegan gains thing, because it came up in chat earlier. There's several people who are not happy that I didn't speak more during the debate, and I've addressed this already, but since it came up again, the few times that I did speak, it was to make a point, and the times I was quiet, it was because Roaming Millennial was trying to make a point. I wasn't going to cut her off just to cut off the other two douchebags. I was not the moderator, and I was on her channel, not mine. She runs her channel differently than I do, and I was respecting the debate that we agreed to have and her channel. Yeah, if this had been on my channel, I would have told him to go get fucked and probably kicked him out for the way he behaved. But not my channel. That's
and
all I have to say
Roman
about that.
didn't seem to have an issue with the way that you conducted yourself.
She's apologized to me a few times for it, and she has nothing to apologize for. It wasn't her fault. That was a shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just really quick, there's a update of sorts, I suppose, to the Trump-Russia story. At a CNN town hall, Nancy Pelosi says, sharing classified information is very damaging, and the president has to answer for this.
Oh, for
We're
fuck's
still
sake.
wondering, answer for what? You still haven't told us
if
what.
If it turns out he did something wrong, we'll deal with it. Until then,
exactly.
Fuck off.
Yeah, and besides which, if the Russians are as talented as the Democrats would have us believe, there's nothing Trump said that they didn't already know.
Do you remember when the Russians were the heroes of the Democrats? It wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't. But you know what? I'm glad that the Russians are becoming more and more insidious and such a threat to the world again, because God damn it, James Bond needs cooler bad guys again.
Yes.
There were no cooler bad guys than when Bond was fighting against some Russian agent or spy or something. Those were the days.
They should do a really good Chinese one, but they don't, because they don't want to offend the Chinese audience.
They did. The world is not enough.
I said a good one.
Oh, a good. Well, okay, that's
good one.
That is legit. Yes. Okay. Quality-wise, you're right. The world is not enough. Was God.
Yeah.
Jonathan Pryce and his Rupert Murdoch, Charles Foster Kane trying to take over the world by creating a false war plot line. God, why do I remember that shit? What is wrong with me?
You just know everything.
Seriously, there are times where I'll be talking to somebody about to somebody about something I had just seen like the other day, let's say, right? And I've watched a TV show or something, and something will happen in the next episode, and I'll be like, did they already meet the thing and the stuff? And they're like, you just watched that yesterday. And I'll be like, God damn it, you're right. And then, of course, I sit here and some Bond movie I saw once 15 years ago or whatever. Oh, God, why? Why can't I use my brain for profit?
Tess W in the chat said, not being creepy, I love Monkey's voice. That's not creepy. That is a natural reaction.
Yes. Ask all the women in his life.
Hey, I told you, I've had people ask me to just read erotica on my videos.
Oh,
yeah.
I've had that same request recently, so yeah.
But I'm going to switch all of the female names to SDA.
Oh. That's not creepy.
That's not creepy at all.
No, it's not. That's not at all fucking creepy. Sure, it would get you though. So if you feel.
Speaking of erotica, N has returned to us after a long absence, and he's putting erotica in the chat for someone's entertainment, I suppose.
That's not erotica. That's straight out porn.
Oh, okay, that's true. Yeah, erotica's got a little bit of class to it, I suppose.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys something. Not specifically about the Deadpool situation there, which, by the way, I think is the most unfortunate name ever now.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of a polyamorous relationship that lasted until everybody died of old age?
No.
Not my personal life or social circle. I mean, there have been relationships that have lasted for a period of time longer than I would have imagined, but ultimately things fell apart for one reason or another. Sometimes dramatically, sometimes amicably, but rarely were they till death do us part kind of thing. No. Okay, that just came out. That was not meant to be.
No, I know what you meant.
Yeah, okay. Just to make sure that was not that wasn't an intentional gallows humor thing. That's just the phrase that came to mind.
Oh, I agree with the thought that humans are not naturally monogamous, but that doesn't mean we're naturally polygamous either. It just means you're not. As a species, we're not built to stay with the same person forever. It works out for some of us, but I do think it's not natural. It is very, very hard to do.
A lot of sociologists call it serial monogamy.
Yeah, that would be what I think is probably natural for us.
Yeah, I think we are, as biological libidinous creatures polyamorous, but emotionally speaking, very few of us can be dividing our love up in such a way that is healthy or long lasting in that way, I think.
Or avoiding the jealousy part of it.
Well, that's what I mean. Emotionally speaking, it's like you can't find a balance where you're always comfortable with sharing.
And you're also going to end up with a favorite.
Exactly. Well, every time I've ever seen it, it starts off with a man and a woman, and then, hi, Little Miss Anonymous. Just so you're aware, we are not talking about the actual case right now. We're just talking about polyamory in general. So don't get mad at what we say here. Every time I've seen it, there's like a guy and a girl, and they'll invite a guy or a girl into the relationship, and then if they've invited a girl in, the guy ends up hooking up with her, and they move on and leave the original chick stranded. Or if it's if it's the other way around, two guys with a girl, the girl ends up with the new guy, because again, it's your serial monogamy thing you were talking about.
Yeah,
you bring in somebody, and you bring them in because they're what you're attracted to now. It's the new thing, and if there's a new thing, the old thing isn't maybe necessarily working out anymore.
So I can speak from direct experience. I was briefly for about briefly by a year. I was the third, let's say, in a polyamorous relationship that was out in the open. You had a married couple, and I was sort of invited in. The terminology for these things, as far as I've been shown by others and in my own situation, is you have the primary. Like whoever you're with, there's the primary. And the primary is, like in this case, would have been her husband. So primary, of course, takes precedence in scheduling or time or, priority, whatever. But yes, and in my situation, the emotional attachment between myself and her was instantaneous, very strong, and
Did that just happen for me, or
what's that?
Monkey?
I didn't hear anything.
You didn't? Okay,
Yeah,
that was
no.
me then.
Roboted
really bad for me.
Okay, well, it didn't happen here, unless you guys are hearing something I don't.
No, I didn't hear
Hello?
anything, so you're still good.
Okay, so what you described is kind of what happened. She and I became very intensely involved with one another to the detriment of his ego. And again, I'm speaking from my perspective and what I knew of the situation. Maybe I'm misinterpreting things, but as I understood it, eventually he became jealous of the fact that she was spending more time or happier time with me. And inevitably, this came to a ultimatum or some kind of argument where she had to essentially sort of choose between chaos at home versus keeping her boyfriend. And, there was no contest. So I was out.
Okay.
And my heart was broke in quite many pieces. And I don't think she had a great time with it either, but it was sort of pragmatically necessary. So I think that dynamic, or interchange the roles or whatever, inevitably happens in some way, shape, or form. And unless if I had a lower amount of self-esteem, I might have been able to capitulate more time or whatever else. But I'm as some people might know, I'm a bit dominant in my sensibilities. Yeah. So I wasn't really a third wheel that wasn't going to become the big wheel pretty quick. And so, yeah, but if you can find someone that is completely subservient to the couple or whatever situation you have, either by their, and I'm not saying you have to be low self-esteem for that to work, but it doesn't hurt if you don't have a whole lot of self-confidence and have to have yourself fed by attention from others. But even then, I know of few such relationships that have lasted more than a year or two at the most.
Your boy Pat asked what we think of the hanging video, if it's real or fake.
The hanging video?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Link
it to me and I'll check it out. For the record, guys, if you don't watch Pat, check him out. Your boy Pat is funny as hell.
Your boy Pat.
I think with the polyamory thing, one of the biggest problems is the most intense part of any relationship is that beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're in a relationship with somebody, say for 5 years, and you guys, yeah, let's bring somebody else in. Well, you're going to have that really strong fire there right at the beginning again. And like I say, it's going to make the other one look kind of, boring. Why don't we have this still?
Yeah, for me,
because you're new.
Yeah, the big excitement for me was like sort of like, okay, I get to be the boyfriend. I get to have all the advantages of just being the boyfriend, but she has a husband to deal with all the other stuff.
Yeah, he's got to put up with her shit.
Well, that's one way to put it, I suppose. Except that I was part of her shit in pretty short order. So.
Well, I like the serial.
I wouldn't want to do it. I've actually been asked to do it before. No.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. I touched the stove one too many times and never again. Wasn't worth it.
Yeah, Bloodwind, go ahead and put Pat's video link in the chat there. I'll check it out later.
The hanging video. Yeah, I'll look at it offline here while you guys are talking because I'm curious now what that means.
Well, he's about to link it for us. So
he's about to. Warm it up, Chris. I'm about to.
Oh my God! You know what I watched today? I haven't seen.
What'd you watch today?
It's a great movie, and it made me think of SDA. Malibu's Most Wanted.
Oh God. Okay. Why did it make you think of SDA?
Honest.
Oh yeah, that's
when
right.
she goes street, yeah.
Yeah, when you go street.
Representing the boom.
Oh man.
It is a dumbass movie, but I fucking love it. That's actually a movie me and my wife went and saw at the theater. I talked her into letting me watch that.
After that was before she talked you into watching 50 Shades of Grey.
See, we do that. That's what you do when you're in a loving relationship. You go watch shitty movies for the other person.
Take one for the team.
That's right. No. Oh my God, Mrs. Monkey she went gallows humor there. If anybody heard that, I apologize.
What'd she say?
I'll put it in our chat.
I want to know what she said. Okay.
Okay. I'm watching the racist watching the hanging video while you guys are talking, so.
Well, we're not talking.
Someone asked what we think of swinging and wife swapping.
Oh yeah, I saw that question. I meant to address it. I think that's a little bit different story because it's either a one-time thing or something you do, once a month if you're in some club, or it's not the same as a new relationship. It's just about the sex, and I don't think I could deal with that because I'm a jealous dude. But I think it's a far more natural than polygamy. Yeah,
still no. Fuck that.
What do we got going on? Guys, we'll go ahead and start taking questions and stuff until Scribe's done watching the video.
Well, it's not actually the video. I have the sound off. It's not actually the video of the supposed event. I think it's just Pat giving his thoughts on it, unless it's being played.
Is it linked in his video description?
No.
If not, we'll have to yell at Pat. Pat, damn it.
So his video description says it's a recent viral video showing a black woman being hanged by 2 to 3 white men with a Confederate flag in the background over the weekend. The video has sparked a major online rage, with many black people claiming the video is real, an example of racism against blacks, while other people are claiming the video is fake and pointing out faults in it. I haven't seen this video, so I don't know. And if there was a woman who had been hanged with a Confederate flag,
wouldn't this be like a big deal?
Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't actually seen the
video.
Somebody in
chat said that it was fake, but I don't know.
And I'll see if I can find it elsewise. I'm not gonna if I do actually find the video, I'm not gonna post it in the chat. But
I will say that if it's proof those people were racist, not that society is. Monkey, will you watch 50 Shades Darker? We talked about this last night because we want to. Oh, Pat said he didn't link that video because they keep taking it down. Good point.
Okay, good point. Okay.
If you do have the link though, Pat, if you could send it to me or Scribe on Twitter, you can just DM it to me. We were talking about 50 Shades because we want to do a stream where the 3 of us watch 50 Shades of Grey together. What to do is, if you want to get the full effect, is load up 50 Shades of Grey and then load up our stream and listen to them simultaneously, because we can't just do it natural. because it would get taken down. I've already seen 50 Shades of Grey. These two haven't. So I also would like to do, if that one goes well, I would like to do 50 Shades Darker, where all three of us come into it without any prior knowledge. So I would like to watch it for that reason.
I've got a news report description of what goes on in the video, this hanging video. There was some suspicion that it was linked to an actual hanging death of someone else, but it's not. So this is what goes on in the video, apparently. The video, which runs 1 minute and 19 seconds, begins with two white men struggling with a young black woman. One man, who is wearing a Confederate flag on the back of his T-shirt, knees the woman, knocking her to the floor. The second man then urinates on the woman.
Ugh.
While one man holds the woman down, the other man pulls a rope around her neck, puts a rope around her neck, and both men pull the rope, hanging the woman. The video ends with the woman kicking her legs and using her hands to pull the rope from her neck. That is the description of the events. I have not actually seen this video yet, so most people say it's fake, and they're pointing out flaws in it. They don't name what those flaws are, but
yeah, I'll watch it and let you know what I think, Pat. But again, like I said, it really doesn't matter. It's assholes who did it if it was real.
So Joys of Sorrow has posted us a video on I don't know what this is, but apparently Joys of Sorrow has posted a thing on Twitter of a video that says kidnapping in process.
Oh.
Is that real, or is that
he's not the one doing the kidnapping, is it?
No, yeah. Joys, you're gonna have to elaborate on whatever the heck this is, because that video you posted doesn't show anything but a guy chasing after a car, and I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Well, that could be them chasing after the
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, just in general, it's like these crimes recorded on Facebook or broadcast live or whatever, just really yeah, I keep, every time one of those things happens, I think of Network, the movie Network.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Something horrible is being broadcast, just like everybody's plugged in all the time to what's going on in the world.
We checked our hashtag today.
I was just about to do that, actually, because now that I was on Twitter.
I keep trying to, and it's telling me there's something wrong.
Oh yeah, it's unable to complete your request. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can't. Twitter's not being nice to us tonight, guys. So if you've sent us stories on hashtag MSS News, apparently right now we can't look at them, which is
weird. Can I address a question real quick?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
So Joe asked me about publishing and royalties and stuff like that, and I don't have an answer yet because I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. But once that happens, I might answer. So we'll just
I would go
see.
the self-publishing route. It just makes more sense these days.
That's what I'm probably gonna do. But exactly what avenue I take to do that, I still don't know.
At least last I checked, the Amazon route is a really good way. And if you have
the Amazon route is definitely the easiest one to use.
And the royalty structure is really nice. The one thing, especially if you're wanting to get into publishing, I need to do a video about building a platform. SDA, you're actually in a pretty good position. If you look at how John Green built his thing up, a lot of it came from his YouTube channel. Every time he has a book, he promotes it really big on his channel. And while he is published with the big five, I think they're the big four now, he gets most of his sales because of him self-promoting. And that's what you'd have to do with self-publishing either way. So
yeah. Because I was also thinking about keeping it completely separate from my YouTube channel, but at the same time, I have a platform, and yeah, fuck it.
Right. Why start over?
Whatever. I mean, the books aren't political or anything, but I really don't think that matters. So yeah, I might use Amazon. I don't know exactly what I'll do yet. Because
night, baby, love you.
Ugh.
Stop it.
Ugh. Yeah. Romance. Bleh.
Uh-oh. Wait for it.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs.
Good night, SDA. I love you.
Oh. That can make you barf, SDA.
No.
She's over
Oh,
there
that doesn't.
smiling. You can hear it in her voice. That's a big smile.
Barf.
Just so Scribe doesn't feel left out. Night, Scribe. Love you too.
Oh, I love you too, Lady Monkey.
He said, "Love you too, Lady Monkey."
Good night, my chat peeps.
Yo, what up?
We're back to
We're getting
Malibu's
all
most
street up
wanted.
here. We're all street.
You're not street.
Yo, street.
Yeah, go away, be red.
Yo, Grove families represent.
Oh wow.
Street.
SDA, who would you sleep with? Monkey or Scribe or both?
Well, I think Lady Monkey would beat me, so
No, that's my job.
I'm defaulting to Scribe.
Yay,
Who was
default,
that? Lady Monkey
default,
would beat me on this
default.
Defaulting to Scribe.
The greatest 2 words in the world, default.
Hey, default is still in there.
It's true.
God damn, I don't even know where we were going.
We didn't really have anywhere to go. I was still looking for
Oh,
this.
no, somebody asked a question earlier that I did want to answer. Sorry, Pyro, I forget your full name. Pyro asked if I think Vegan Gains is a character, and I'm paraphrasing the rest of this, or if he really is a psycho fucker.
Paraphrasing.
Some of it may be a character, but his anger issues are real. And if you watch that debate, I mean, if your wife has to go over and calm you down in a simple YouTube debate,
I still can't believe somebody married him. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Okay.
To each their own.
Okay.
But Malabute, yes, the name of his CD. But yeah, if you get that pissed off with just a conversation, a simple debate, then you have you might want to see a therapist. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's all an act. I don't know if he's like his I want to stomp on babies, if that was just him being hyperbolic or if that's something he's actually thought of. But the character he puts out is what he's putting out there. So that's, to me, important as well. And what I mean by that is he is choosing to let people see him that way. So even if it is a character, it's a shitty character. A lot of people have told me that, you know, it's just the character. Well, if you're playing the part of an asshat, it's not an excuse for being an asshat. You're still being an asshat. Stop it. That's my opinion on that.
We're getting more sex questions in chat.
Oh, dear God. What do we have?
Somebody wants to know if I would be an extra with you and Lady Monkey. No. Mm-mm.
Lady Monkey doesn't share.
Yeah, I don't share either. So.
Okay, guys, this is officially your time. If you want to share questions or thoughts that you'd like us to read out. Oh, and you can also show your monkey love by clicking on that $ in the bottom left-hand corner.
Monkey love.
Monkey needs love. A lot of love.
Whoa. Oh my God.
Yeah, this channel lives off of super chats. I didn't even pay attention the last month. I wasn't even paying attention to how ad revenue is, and I actually looked at it this month, and it's like I was never making that much, but holy crap, it's bad.
Yeah,
I can't imagine what the big guys are going through. I just can't. That has
Well,
to be
and
like
you and I had the conversation too that, like, I was looking at my revenue and I made like nothing, and I still make like nothing from ad revenue because my channel's still small. But for whatever reason, I was like, why am I making sound? That's so fucking weird. And then I realized that it was super chat.
Oh yeah.
let's see. Kara asks, my sister and I didn't grow up together. I want to reconnect to my older sister and get to know her, but neither of us knows where to start. What is your advice? Find something you both hate.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Find something you both hate, grouse about that, and that's a good starting point. And I'm only kind of half being facetious there, but it's actually true. If you can find a common enemy, I don't mean a person necessarily, but like a topic or a food or a movie or a situation or something, then that's not a bad icebreaker.
Well, there's a great episode of Scrubs where they're actually talking about the Iraq War, and everybody's going back and forth on, you know, there's the pro side and the con side, And the way Bob Kelso, the chief of medicine, finally gets them all to shut up and get back to work is uniting them behind hating him.
Yeah.
He takes away their discount for coffee. And so and immediately they're all back together as one unit hating him.
Yay.
You're not wrong about finding something that you hate.
Yeah, a common struggle. I mean, we know all too well how a common struggle can unite people behind very strange causes.
Yeah. And you can find, if you find things that you have in common, that can work too. But
yeah,
yeah,
there's nothing.
Mutual hatred.
Yeah, mutual hatred. Yeah, passion. That kind of passion directed towards something that feels productive and satisfying. Yeah, that's a quick one. That's a quick way to find common ground.
A couple people asked about Crout & T's video. Did you guys watch it?
Nope.
I did not know. What's it about?
This is the one we got asked about last night. Baring had taken a clip out of it and put it up on his channel. So if you watch Baring at all, you've probably seen a little bit of it. It's about his disgust with SJWs and why he won't talk to them.
Oh, thanks, Terry.
Thank you, Terry.
Will Scribe do an ad, or is it just on his channel?
He'll do an ad for you.
I can do an ad for you. I usually just do it on my channel. But what product shall I use for Terry?
Let's go with lotion.
Ugh, this is gonna go in so many disgusting places.
It doesn't have to. They do lotion
It's
commercials all
going
the time
to.
on TV.
Okay. All right. This broadcast is brought to you by Terry Diamantis. When you want to avoid chafing when having some self-monkey love, try Terry Diamantis.
Very
Told you.
nice. See, now, okay, yeah, you're right. He took it bad.
I know.
I'll do something better next time.
Where else? It was either that, or if you need to put something in a basket, try Terry Diamantis.
There you see, yeah, that's a beautiful one.
See, that
too. So
was
you
like
got a twofer.
disgusting, but you had
Yeah,
to.
you got a two. Well, see, I give the one that first came to mind, then I give the one that's a bit more esoteric, depending on whether or not you know movies or anything. But it's a pretty famous thing. Anyway,
How do you not know?
Either way,
that?
thank you so much, Terry.
there are some people. Trust me. There are some people who have no idea what I just said.
Back to Crout & T's video. It's a pretty good video, and his reasoning I can't really argue with, except to say that he casts everybody with a wide net, and I think that's a horrible idea. He points to two situations that were really, really fucked up. One, I want to say it was a guy in Saudi Arabia who an SJW was trying to out specifically to get him in trouble in Saudi Arabia, which would have gotten him killed.
Yeah.
That's a fucked up thing to do. So I can see how that would make you, weary of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But by that same token, one of the first feminists I ever made a video about who actually responded in any kind of way was Ranting Feminist. And some of her opinions can drive me nuts, but me and her are actually friends. We talked for several hours last night on Twitter. As I was watching Jordan Peterson and talking with SDA here, me and her were having a conversation as well. She's a very nice person, and we don't discuss politics very much because we're very far apart on that. But yeah, I still think it's worthwhile to try talking to the other side. By all means, treat them all skeptically. When me and her first started talking, it was actually very funny because we were both very honest about it. It's like, I don't trust you. So, I mean, it was a very slow build up to actually being able to call her a friend. But so by all means, be skeptical. Don't share, important information about yourself. But I think you should be able to talk to anyone. We want SDA and monkey porn.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Even I don't want monkey porn, and I love me. Now, midget porn, if you have any of that, send it my way. Female midgets.
Definitely gay midgets. Send him gay midget porn.
Gay female midgets is fine.
No, male gay
That's not
midget
what you're
porn.
saying. How come lesbians aren't called gay anymore?
I don't know.
It used to be straight
it's
and gay.
different.
But it's not.
I know it's not, but it's like It's like
It's not like,
it's like dickless gay.
it's not like dick sucking, no, because there's no penis, but anyhow.
Ah.
The places we go. What else do you have for us, chat?
Yeah, chat, you are our savior. Help us.
Help.
Please help us. We can't think for
If monkey gets
ourselves.
gay, midget porn, SDA gets bugs. All right, I yield. It's fine. Never mind. Fun midget porn.
Midget porn.
What's Lady Monkey look like? Goddess. She's gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Monkey, have you seen Wolf of Wall Street? Yeah, I thought it was a great movie.
Jonah Hill ruined that movie.
You just say that because you saw his dick. You slowed it down and paused there, didn't you?
I did not. I saw it once
Lick
in
the screen.
theaters, and that was it.
Is Jenny McDermott in the chat?
What?
Could be. I mean, she's commented on my videos before.
Oh, is she? Okay. I was
She's
curious.
not a fan.
Oh.
I don't even remember. I don't even think I mentioned her in the video she was pissed off about. I might have. It's God. Do you remember all the stuff you make videos about?
No.
Kind of. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, but
if
you're
I
also
look,
Scribe, so.
Well, that's true too. Kid Christ. Yeah, it's true. I can't help it. I apologize.
No,
speaking of I apologize.
No,
Speaking
like
of
you don't have
Deadwood,
to apologize. It's like
Hold
a
on.
weird superpower.
Yeah, hold on. So I do want to mention one thing. So today, Powers Boothe passed away, and Powers Boothe was a very
did he
good
really?
actor. Yeah, he was 65, I think, or 68, and he passed away in his sleep of natural causes. Powers Boothe is best known for several things. Markedly, he played Jim Jones in the TV movie about Jim Jones's life in the People's Temple, which was, I mean, even though it's a TV movie from like the 80s or whatever, it is a mesmerizing performance if you have a chance to find it. The quality of that is always going to be bad because apparently the only copy they have to make DVDs of it is like bad copy. But otherwise, he was also in Tombstone. Did a really good job there. Yeah, he's been in so many movies. Most recently, he was one of the shadowy government officiators in the Avengers movies, and also on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. last season. He was he reprised his role for most of the season. Very good actor, very nice guy, very well loved, and it's a real shame that he passed away as young as he was.
Tombstone is one of my all-time favorite movies, and the part of that for him that just personified the character is when Wyatt Earp's pulling out and he tells him, you know, this is done. And he looks at me and just goes, well, bye. And it's like,
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, and somebody says in the chat like, "Oh, now we're back at Jim Jones again," and I was like, I can't help it. This one is unavoidable.
Well,
okay, the guy played Jim Jones,
and it doesn't help that at least Scribe and I have a weird obsession with cults. So, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry. Apparently, this is actually Jenny McDermott, and she asked a question, and I'm going to answer it. I'm going to be nice to her. She said, I want to know if you guys think that the murder was because he fell in love with a new girl and it was a jealousy thing. What I believe we all agree on is that we don't have enough information to speculate, and we don't want to add to the speculation already out there. It is certainly possible, but I don't want to say that that's what I think because I don't want to add to it.
Yeah, I mean, once the charging documents are released, if there's a police report released or statements taken from witnesses and such, that'll be all public record in relatively short order. Heat Street had a story written by Ian Miles Chong about the whole thing as known right now, and God knows once those documents, if and when they become publicly available, by hook or by crook, we will all hear about it. So for the time being, let's just sort of try to keep the rumor mill as do our best to try to keep the rumor mill as low as possible, unless or until we hear something otherwise that's corroborated. Because adding to the noise doesn't do anybody any good.
I got an interesting question from Joe.
Okay.
Said, which would be better, one book that's about 1,200 pages or 3 books that are about 450 pages? It depends on the story.
It depends on what you're asking by best, too. If 3 has the potential for more money.
That's true as well.
Yeah, so
a
lot of writers...
Sorry.
Go ahead. I was going to say, a lot of writers don't like to look at the business side of it. It's all about the art. But if you want to become a published writer and you want to make that your job, you have to think that way.
Yeah.
It's
I
part
mean,
of it.
the other thing, I guess, is that if a story is long enough to be that, like, 1,200 pages long, you might want to calm the fuck down and maybe take a look at your whole story and take a good, and really think about it. Are you sure you need 1,200 pages? Because another thing from the business aspect of it, and this is why when I talked about chapters the other night, it's kind of an important thing to think about, is that if you have a super long chapter, you're not going to get that page turner effect where somebody's going to be like, one more chapter, because they know that one more chapter means I'm going to be here for 5 fucking hours. So 1,200 pages is so daunting anyway.
Yeah.
And I mean, and like I said, if you need that many pages to tell a single story, you might have a problem.
T is here.
Hi,
How's it going,
T.
T?
Hello, T.
Fan of your work, bud. Thank you so much for stopping by. SJ was just talking about writing. She's an aspiring writer, and we discussed this the other day. I used to write, and if you do that at all, people will offer to send you things for you to read, and 9 times out of 10, it's utter shit. But I did read some stuff that SDA read, and I told him, like, I'm surprised because usually it's shit, and I really enjoyed what she wrote.
Yeah, I'm working on...
And I don't just say that sucking up. I'm the kind of person who goes, this kind of sucks.
Yeah, monkey will suck. The quality of the sucking is in question, but...
I'm working on a novel right now. I want to get it published before I turn 21. That's my goal. So...
Got a year, woman. Get going.
Yep, got a year.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, a lot of times with length, it depends on the story. But if you want to go from a business perspective and from a readability perspective, not being a rambler is a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are books that justified. The Lord of the Rings was originally a series, one book. They refused to publish it that way because it was too fucking long. And personally, I think that's overly wordy anyhow. But if you're going to write, remember it is a business. That's all I'm saying.
There's a couple things I wanted. Somebody brought up in chat. Has anyone else seen the trailer for the Seth MacFarlane's new comedy, The Orville? It's a Star Trek spoof. This is from First Cynic. I watched it shortly before the stream. I did not laugh at all. And not in the sense that it was offensive. It was just entirely unfunny. The jokes and the situations they showed in the trailer did nothing to me. Now, I understand I am a jaded individual. I'm pretty crusty when it comes to that kind of stuff. But all the same,
Scribe.
Yeah, but seriously, I just watched it. I was waiting and when is this going to get funny? And it didn't.
Shit. You know what I forgot to do at the beginning of this?
What's that?
Guys, our good friend, the One Ton Hammer.
Yes.
Surgery.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have brought it up.
One Ton, I'm so sorry. I meant to mention this at the top of the show. I hope it all turned out very well, and I hope you recover quickly.
Yeah, One Ton went into surgery today. He posted on Twitter about it, and he's missing the stream live, unfortunately, and we all wish him the best and speedy recovery, because that's no fun. Regardless of what the situation is, going into surgery is no fun at all.
I don't mind it.
Neither do I, actually.
For me, the only part of surgery that I've had any trouble with is when I come out of anesthesia, my first instinct is to get up and get moving. Like even before I'm conscious, they have to hold me down, and that's what I wake up to, is me being held down by people trying to keep me from hurting myself.
Yeah.
So, I know a lot of people get loopy from anesthesia, but it doesn't make me loopy at all.
You're a mutant.
I'm like,
it's because you're dead inside.
Everything that's happening.
Yeah. You have no soul. You hear something romantic and you barf.
Dark ginger.
This is what prevents anesthetic from taking effect on you.
It works. I just don't get loopy.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, guys.
Is that wrong?
No, I don't get loopy from it, except for that momentary coming out, and it only lasts for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then But afterwards, I'm fine. I'm totally coherent.
Someone in the chat have asked SDA, "Why are you so sweet?" And I feel like that's a joke.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Ooh, Sugar Tits liked a tweet of mine.
Nice.
Guys, Sugar Tits liked a tweet of mine. Yeah, she's
You're
talking
a
about how she
person
fell
now.
asleep. Yeah, she fell asleep during Rogue One. And so I said, it's an understandable reaction to a superfluous story where nothing important happens, except the last 5 minutes, #Vader rules.
Ranting Monkey, do people touch you in special ways when you're under? I don't know.
He wishes.
I'm a very beautiful man, so it's possible.
Oh.
I don't wake up, with my ass hurting or anything. So I'm good. I hope they had fun.
I'm a vampire. Why am I a vampire?
Oh, and for the
What?
record, I am not recommending doctors do that to anyone else. I said I was fine with it if it happened to me. I'm not advocating.
No, Scribe SD is a vampire, not a mutant. When I said you're a mutant, you're actually a vampire. That's what I said.
Why am I a
Dark
vampire? I
ginger.
don't get that.
Because
Dark
you're all
ginger.
sparkly.
Because I'm all what?
That guy T says Rogue One has a black guy in it. You're correct. Saw Gerrera is a black guy. Thank you, T.
Rogue One. That's
Saw
the one
Gerrera was better in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, Rogue One is the prequel in betweenquel, whatever, of before A New Hope, where they steal the Death Star
Can
plans.
in betweenquel be a?
That's
an
my new
official
word. In
cameo?
betweenquel
I like
is where you're like
that.
in betweenquel. Yeah, that's when you insert something in between an established series of movies.
That guy T. If you haven't seen it already, go to the website for The Root and look up the top 10.
Don't do that to him. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, top 10 black Star Wars characters. It is one of the most epically written things since Beowulf.
Yes, it was
You
awesome.
don't do it. I'm still recovering.
Oh God, it was so bad.
Have any of you seen Legend? Tom Hardy did a great job playing twins. Legend.
You mean not the
Tom
Tom
Cruise
Cruise
movie?
movie? What?
That's the one I've seen, and I don't remember Tom Hardy in it.
Wait, I'm looking this up. Legend Tom Hardy. No, there's a 2015. That movie. Oh, it's about the Krays, I think, isn't it? Yes. Okay. So Legend is about the Kray brothers, who were twin brothers in Britain, who were gangsters, and Tom Hardy plays both roles. I haven't seen it. I do want to see it. I remember watching the old movie, The Krays, that dealt with this story a long time ago, and this looked interesting, but I don't know what kind of reception did it get. $41 million, 27 million, 62% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's got a half and half sort of reaction to it. But yeah, I remember seeing the preview for that, but I never saw it.
Okay.
Thank you,
I
Sanguine.
would say thank you to Sanguine, but fuck you. Okay. I'm not happy with you right now.
That's right.
Sanguine
that
said the
article-
Force- I was
The
going to
Force is black. Just admit it. No, it is not.
Yeah.
The
That's
what
what we
we
learned from that
said.
article. That was the number one black actor or black character.
That guy T might be going to read it.
Oh yeah! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Spoiler
The Force
alert.
is black.
Too late. Too late. Somebody's been asking this question a couple of times. Would we ever do a collab video other than just streaming? Me and
Probably
SDA have.
Oh, I
I've
see how it
stolen
is.
material from Scribe before.
This is true. Yes.
I've actually stolen a subject from Scribe before.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm-
right. The real life pussies.
Oh, that wasn't
What?
stealing. What? No. So the
What were we talking
okay,
about?
maybe
No.
I'm forgetting. So there was one time where I did a video on the two girls talking about communism,
Yep.
and then you highlighted that, which I appreciated because that suddenly got me like 100 subscribers in like 10 minutes kind of thing. And then there was the time where I had done a video and then you did a video on the same subject, but you didn't know I had because you didn't know me back then. And then I tweeted something out about how, you made points that I didn't or something. And you took that to mean that I was complaining or upset that you had done this video on the same thing.
No.
I think that's what it was. What was it?
You're missing it. You're a little bit off on the time frame because
Okay,
we
all
had
right.
started talking.
Okay.
But not very much. So I didn't know if you were kidding or if you were really upset. So I clarified just to be safe and apologize because you did it before I did, and I hadn't seen your video yet because I had just started following you.
Right. I
And
think
yeah,
it was a
I felt
fusion
horrible.
video. Oh, it was the lady talking about white fragility. That's what it was. It was that.
Oh yes, yes, it was.
Yeah, it was the blogger talking about white fragility. I just focused on the video. You went 2 steps further and went to her blog posts to sort of supplement some of your points and things.
Yeah,
And I
'cause
said something to the effect of like, I forget what it was exactly, but I was whatever I said, I was completely kidding or just being sincerely sort of like impressed with your efforts. And then you took that as like I was upset or jealous or like whatever.
I didn't take it that way. I was
Okay.
my response was genuinely I wasn't sure how you felt. So
Right. Yeah. And that's actually kind of how we started talking more after that. That's actually one of the I think one of the catalysts to us actually communicating to the point where this happened.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, it's so cute.
So if any of you guys were wondering the origins of our friendship, there you go.
Yay!
Because we've talked many times about how the stream started, but never where we started.
Yeah,
talking.
we ended up in chats or streams together, and then there was a mistake of communication, and yay for that. And it turned out well, unlike some wars.
Yes. SDA joined us because she was a fan of ours, and she kept sending us each individually nudes.
Yeah,
and
man.
Come on.
What?
Damn titties.
Just kidding,
People are
sweetie.
gonna believe you. You know that, right?
That is entirely not true, guys.
People are so going to believe you.
Oh man.
She's
Dick.
never sent us nudes.
No.
We'll let you know.
She's just here to validate us on stream.
Of course, she did send out a picture of her naked feet when she was in that dressing room. So if you're
That's
into
true,
foot
she did.
fetishes, if you're into foot fetishes and
don't
want to really
Scribe.
really stroll through her Twitter feed, you can find that one of her in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Boxers, briefs, or free balling. It depends on what I'm wearing. It's either boxer briefs, neither boxers nor briefs, or typically in jeans, free balling because it's more comfortable.
Usually boxers for me, but I have a couple pairs of boxer briefs that I got for an experiment just because I had never tried them before, and it's fine, whatever. Also depends on the weather. Like if it's really hot, I'll probably wear boxers because there's more circulation.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
And SDA lets her balls hang free all the time.
Oh God, yes.
Have we seen the blinking mask video? I don't know what that is.
The blinking mask video. Okay, I will look this up while you guys are doing.
Should I clarify that you don't actually have testicles as well?
Yes, please do, because
She does not have testicles. Except I can't
some
make that
people are
claim
fucking
because
stupid.
I can't actually make that claim because the other claim is true. You've never sent nudes. So she does have an afro taint. She did confirm that in a stream.
I did not. This didn't happen.
See, this is what happens when we host on my channel. Have I gotten like really bad lately? I feel like I have.
I don't know. Bad at what? Define bad.
Well, yeah, SDA shouts monkey a lot more these days.
Not monkey.
ladies.
SDA might just be as sensitive as a clit.
Could be.
Oh, haha.
Don't say that out loud, though. Oh, speaking of that, guys, if anybody, a lot of people keep tagging me and stuff on Twitter. It's not that I don't like what you are saying. If you haven't heard yet, I can't respond.
Yeah, he's not allowed.
I'm not ignoring you guys. I just can't for another 3 days.
If I'm not responding to you on Twitter, I'm probably ignoring you.
Because you are dead inside.
I get tagged in a lot of stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
Somebody said SDA has a huge rack. I just like how it's huge and it's all capital.
You got to put Y in front of it. It's huge. Huge.
That is true. Yeah.
Huge. Yeah. I saw that picture of you in the dressing room. Huge.
Yeah, we're just getting silly. So I am going to make it last call. Did you find that video?
I found a couple of things called the blinking mask. So there's a cosplay blinking mask eyes proof of concept from 2012. I'm assuming this is supposed to be something recent, but I'll look at the blinking mask video.
AW was asking that. AW, if you have it, do you have Twitter? Can you send it to me link it to me on Twitter. You can also DM me. My DMs are open for a little while longer. For a little while.
I mean, if this is the video that I'm supposed to be looking at, it's just sort of like a cosplay. Somebody made a mask that's basically like an anime character. And if you click a little button, the eyes or the eyebrows kind of flutter like it's blinking, and that's it. And so I assume there must be something else that we're talking about, because this is nothing exciting to me, at least.
They said they would. They said sure when I said to send it to me if they have it. Kyra asked, would you proofread a story from a fan? One, you don't want me proofreading your story. And two,
she might be talking to SDA.
Well, I'm answering for me and then SDA. She didn't specify.
Oh, okay.
She could have been talking to you. Anyhow, for me, I wouldn't even have the time. If you want to send me something to read, I'm happy to do it. But one, I am horribly brutal in the things that I do say. Not that I'm brutal. It comes off as brutal because I don't know how to sugarcoat it for you.
And you thought my stuff was good? I'm like so happy with that.
And two, I am not the best person for spelling or grammar. You'd want somebody else for that.
I'm really good at proofreading, but don't send me stuff. I don't want to do it. So.
Yeah, so this is last call. If you have anything you want to ask that hasn't, or if you've asked it and we've ignored it, ask now, because we're going to do 5 minutes tonight, because usually by the time 10 comes around, we should have stopped at 7.
Oh, the MSS news has come up now. I'll see if there's anything worth talking about in the last 5 minutes.
Ranting Monkey, are you on 4chan? No, I've gone a couple of times, and I was around during, Yahoo chat rooms and all that shit, and I like where the internet has got, and that's still it's an aesthetic thing for me. It still looks like it's from 1995, and I'm okay with that. I've moved on.
Yeah, I think I've been to 4chan like once back during Gamergate to look at something that someone had linked about it, but other than that, excuse me. Hiccups.
How do you quit masturbating? Usually at orgasm.
Someone asked me how the puppy was. He's good.
Yeah. How is Jinx?
He's good.
Has he learned any new tricks?
Hi, Jinx.
He I think I told you guys he can do a high five now. But now we're working on. He also knows down. He's gotten pretty good with down, so I'm working on up and stay.
Excuse me. There was a question I wanted to see or answer. Do you guys, it's addressed to all of us, think it's possible that Roaming Millennial was planted in the anti-SJW community by Lacey via her false DMCA? I think you have too much time on your hands.
It's time to pull out the red string and the thumbtacks.
There you go. Yes. If you have sex more often, masturbation should decrease. That's not necessarily true.
Yeah, depends on your libido. And what gets you off.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about that.
Well, especially for men, generally, masturbation isn't about sexual release. Guys will masturbate because they're bored.
Yeah, Steve won't talk about it because obviously we'll have to talk about Assassin's Creed.
Yes. And her redneck.
Oh, yeah.
The best way to achieve world peace, blow it all up.
Yep. When all the humans are dead, we shall have peace.
And peace isn't something that's necessarily the greatest thing.
No.
Look inside of North Korea right now. It's peaceful inside.
Yeah. Boring.
I wouldn't want to fucking live there, though. Who will be the first to debate Lacey Green? I'm going to go with Blair White.
Well, that wasn't really a debate they had. That was more sort of a one-sided discussion.
It wasn't supposed to be, but Lacey came for a debate and Blair showed up for a chat.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who would you guys like to see? Well, see, actually, Lacey was kind of vague in that. she didn't ever say if she would be one of the ones in the debates, because she said that she'd like to host debates between skeptics and SJWs.
Yeah. Well, she put out a tweet the other day saying, "What are some of your favorite anti-SJW or whatever channel or skeptic channels or whatever?"
Who are
And,
nice. And somebody,
yeah,
a couple people mentioned me. Thank you guys.
Mhm.
You're
A
awesome.
a
But
couple people mentioned me too. I was like, "Hey, thanks."
well, see, you would be good because you are nice.
Oh, am I?
You are.
SDA doesn't think so.
Well,
Well, yeah, but that's because
But-
you beat me.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you were nice, that wouldn't be any fun.
No, that's true too.
so who would you guys like to see? If it was her, who would you like to see?
If she was the debate person,
I don't know.
Teal deer. No, I'm kidding.
Can you imagine?
Oh God.
I would do that just for the comedic aspect of Lacey Green talking to a robot.
God. On the skeptic side of things, good God. Probably Jeff Holiday.
I could see that. I'd actually think an actual Blair White debate would be good if they both came
Yes,
into
if there
a
was
room to
if there
debate.
was a structured debate between the two of them that they actually adhered to, then that would be very good. Yes, because then you could have the white green debate or the green white debate, and I love the fact that they got their last names are colors.
SDA, do you train your men?
You could call the debate. You could call the debate "Women of Color."
Oh my God. Okay, what was the question for you? SDA what?
Do you train your men like your puppy? No, I don't. If a man
Train
can be
your
trained,
men.
then he's not a man.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
Shit, I'm not a man.
No, you're not a man. Manly man.
Lacey Green versus Bering. You know, I love Bering. I don't like him in debates because in debates, Bering
He's
is
not nasty enough.
he's fucking nice. He's way too, for all the shit people give him, he is probably one of the more reasonable ones of us. He might make the videos that are a bit mean, and even I don't think that, but he's actually one of the more reasonable skeptics.
Mm-hmm.
And he's way too nice about it.
Would I debate Lacey Green? Yeah, sure.
I want to get her to come on the show. I want to see if
I want to know
arrange that.
what topic. I mean, it's one thing to say debate, but I mean, what topic would you, if it was you, Monkey SD, and I'll go. What topic would you want to debate her on specifically?
The necessity of feminism in modern Western society.
Okay.
Listen and believe stuff.
Hang on. Somebody's asking if they can post a link. You can't post it in here, but if you hashtag MSS News, we'll see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys, if anybody can tweet to Lacey and tell her that I want her on the show, let her. Tell her.
Has she ever done videos on education and social justice or white privilege or things like that? I don't know. I haven't watched enough of her stuff independently of what other people have critiqued her on.
She's done male privilege.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
does patriarchy and male privilege. Yeah, that's true.
She doesn't do as many SJW videos as you might think. I mean, she definitely has them, but if you go to her channel, you have to dig for a while to see.
Most of the SJW stuff was on Braless.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I would like to have Lacey on kind of the way we had Roaming on the other day. Do the news first, and then bring her on to answer questions for our audience. Would that be me taking advantage of a woman?
I mean, you take advantage of me, so.
No. You and I have an arrangement. We have an arrangement, and you know it. I think that's all we have for tonight, guys. Wouldn't you say?
I suppose.
Real quick, Primal Cult asked me if I've talked to Porco Dio about vegan gains. I do count Porco as one of my friends, but I actually haven't talked to him in a while.
Mhm.
Maybe I should check in with him. See
I
what
wonder what he's up to.
I
I've
think-
seen a couple of posts of him.
if you're on Irate Bears Discord, he said that he's got a real life good opportunity that is probably going to be taking up a lot of his time, so he's not going to be doing YouTube and stuff much.
Mhm.
So something really good for him, but if you're a fan of his
Sure.
work, then not for you. So
Uh,
but yeah, on that we're gonna call it quits. Chat, thank you guys so much for coming. You guys are awesome. Love you. SDA, Scribe, a pleasure as always. Guys, your life makes me sad. I'll see you next time.
Hi, guys.
Bye.